Hi, King Devin. And that's also funny, too. Got a question. When I had the other two April Fools, the Lori one, and I know you don't watch Transformers, so I bet you weren't here for the Transformers one, but were you here for the Lori one that I did 2 years ago, back when those frickin' trolls used to be here and everything? Just more or less curious if you've ever been to an April Fool's stream before. We're actually getting a Slender setup because I'm playing Slender Hardcore again. Just in case you guys didn't see me play before, it is hard on hardcore mode. Like, bad. Which I'll talk about more. The main point of the stream is Blood Monkey, not Slender. But Slender's still the theme, so we're going to keep up that mantra. Really? Dang. So I must have made... I'll have to look at the date again, because I know you showed up. What If Rick Exiled Shane, the remake, a few parts in. I'd have to look at the date for the April Fool's stream compared to the parts that of the story that you came in. Because I thought that was way sooner. Time goes fast, so sometimes it's hard to keep track of very specific things. But, so this is your first April Fool's. We're talking about the best sci-fi horror movie, Blood Monkey. And there's a lot to talk about with it. Not as much as Lori. That one was about an hour and a half. And then Robots in Disguise, the one from last year, that was an hour and 40 minutes. But I didn't start the actual like talks about both of them until like past 30 minutes in. So for now, we could pretty much just chill. We'll see if a few other people get in, and then like maybe by the 15, 20 minute mark, we'll start talking. There's not the hugest amount of stuff compared to the other two things to talk about, but there is enough. And I started the whole thing 2 years ago because I wanted to do something for April Fools. And I could have just been like, oh, I'm quitting YouTube. But no, that's too simple. I want to basically find, because people have asked me about doing reviews and discussions on things, even though this is a What If channel. So I decided to take that into consideration of doing something that I don't like and joking and saying that I do as like a great April Fool's thing. So, yeah. Talked about Lori from The Walking Dead as a start. We had to start with Lori. If there's any way to start a April Fool's thing, you start it with Lori Grimes. But yeah, anyways, I started playing Slender the Arrival on hardcore mode last time. Just 3 days ago, whenever there was the stream. I tried for over an hour on 8 pages, but I did get to 7 pages multiple times. But the red barrel, it keeps screwing me because it's just way too complex to navigate whenever he starts teleporting, like at 7 pages especially. Plus your character runs out of speed, and it's just really hard. That's why the 8 pages is so iconic, because it's that freaking intense. And then I went Slender the Arrival on hardcore. And then I found out that on hardcore mode, your flashlight actually has a battery. So, yeah. And then on the 8 pages mode, Genesis mode, hardcore mode is simple. Like, I bossed that. Because he also glitches out. But the actual game for 8 pages is I got to 7, my flashlight died. I somehow stayed alive for over like 20 plus minutes. And I didn't die. And then I eventually won, but I stared at him while I was running away, so it ended up killing me anyway. So yeah. And then I also found out in the generator level on hardcore mode, you actually have to get gas canisters for the generators, which makes it even harder. I got to 4, but especially with Kate being there as a proxy, they leveled up the most hardest mode in this game to like 700. Which I'm glad. Like, I don't know why it's taken me years and years to want to play more difficult modes for this game. But, yeah. I'd be disappointed if I got through it easy. Yes, it was called Nick's Topics Covers the Best Walking Dead Character. Because like I said, I gotta play it with the April Fool's gig. So I had to name it something very convincing that would make you think. And then you're like, and then you gotta remember, on April Fool's, you can't trust anybody. Now, I would show you guys, like, I would have just recorded off my phone and, like, played the game. I did not know it was on mobile. Dang. Anyway. Yeah, I showed my face more or less the first 2 times with a background image to what we were talking about. This time, I just put the thing as the cover for the movie, so you guys absolutely know what we're going to be talking about. And plus, say I get through Sunder Hardcore while I'm talking about Blood Monkey. I played Fortnite while I was talking about the bad Transformers show, so it's not like it's any different. But then I'll just tell you guys about it, and more or less you've seen me play the game. So unless there's something really, 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 really different, besides the jump scares of Slender being more freaking chaotic in hardcore mode, then I'll just, like, you guys could probably just look it up. As for your thing there, you have to pay for stuff. You do not have to pay for 8 pages, Hospice, Elementary, Mod, or any games that you could download on the computer. Slender the Arrival costs $10. And there's a remake version. And they actually made, I think I told you guys about this, a 10-year remake version, completely restyles the game and actually shows the backstory of Charlie. Charles Matheson, Charlie Matheson's father. And I plan to play that remake actively, but I want to beat. That's why I also went on this mode in a harder difficulty, the highest actually, is because I want to be able to feel like I accomplished everything in this game before I move to a remake, especially with the new game coming out. I gotta prep myself. Hopefully beat freaking 8 pages one of these days. But I'm close. I'm getting to the point where I'm like so close and I can get 7 pages actively. It's that stupid red barrel though that gets me. If it was just not actively on that location, then I would have bossed it in the last stream. Slender did not like me last stream. But yeah, we're going to give it another like couple minutes here, and then we are going to get right into talking about Blood Monkey, the best sci-fi horror movie. Honestly, like I have seen so many horror movies and sci-fi movies that you guys have no idea. I've seen headed shark attacks. I've seen freaking alien movies, killer bee movies, killer lion, killer bear, killer freaking piranhas, everything and anything under the sun, you know? But this one, I had high hopes for. Oh, and yeah, killer snakes too. The list goes on and on, along with horror movies in general, like Friday and Saw, and yeah, like I said, horror is always going to be one of my favorite things that I get into. And the only things that I cannot stand, the only horror movies that I found that I absolutely cannot watch is Cabin Fever and Slither, which if you know about the movies, then you know. If you don't, trust me, they're ones that you can't really stomach because of the subject that they do. But yeah, horror is always going to be one of my favorite things. But for this movie, I checked it out a few years ago because I was going especially through a big horror phase then with looking into a bunch at once. And that was one of the ones I checked. And I got it off Amazon, just like several others. And I really just wanted to like it. And I watched it the entire way through. Because if you're going to watch something, best to watch it through if you've made it at least halfway through. You just watch the rest. It's like when someone stops mid-show because they're like, oh, Glenn died. It's like, at that point, you're halfway through the freaking show. You gotta finish it. Who knows? It could be better. Anyway, now the terror begins. Let the pain and suffering begin. Now I gotta look for these dumb, pathetic, stupid gas canisters that are no doubt hidden sporadically around this freaking, or, you know, have them right next to each other. That works too. Oh, Kate spawns in the middle area. And I also figured something out. If you turn off your flashlight, Kate doesn't see you unless you run by her. Literally. If you turn off your flashlight, Kate does not come after you. You could literally walk right past her and she will not catch you. So keeping that in mind, it gives me a much better way to juke her and outmanage her. But since you need the light to be able to combat her and your flashlight runs out in hardcore mode, this actively turns my game into a nightmare-fueled freaking train wreck, which you could probably see why I struggled and why this is the hardest mode in the game. Ain't no way. I got 4 generators last time, and I thought that I had to get all 6 just like easy and normal. But you know what? They put the gas canisters, but they lowered the generator. So I only have to get 4 generators this time. So I actually could have won the game last time. They actually made it a lower level. Okay. So it's like I could get through the hardcore modes, but it's just the tools that come along with doing it actively make it a more nightmare-fueled freaking train wreck. But yeah, I'm going to turn off my light here, and she is not going to catch me. How does that feel, Kate, to know that you're the slender-induced proxy, and yet you can't catch a mere person. Go ahead. I actively dare you. One of these days I'm going to do that, and I'm going to end up killing myself, and it's going to be all my fault. Give me the gas canister. Kate, I swear to God, if you're behind this corner, those two generators have to be the only ones left. I realistically could have won the game last time. Yes. Exactly. That's what makes him such a monster. Monster is a nice word when it comes to the Slenderman. I can hear you running, Kate. Only question is it behind or in front of me? I swear to God, if you jump scare me. See, this is the thing that annoys me also. I need one freaking gas canister to win the game. Like, bro. It's a freaking canister. Like, why do they gotta sporadically hide them like that? It's like the pages, except far more annoying. You're looking for gas canisters in a freaking mansion, basically. Okay, Slendy. You totally gotta be that guy. Slendy, stop it. Just stop it. Oh my God. He does not quit. You think you'll check it out? Well, after what I'm about to describe with the movie, you might reconsider. So we're actually going to get started right here talking about it. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. So it's a 2007 movie. Now, if you guys didn't already know, and you didn't see the movie that I linked, and I didn't, if you weren't here for the multiple discussions of it, links, etc., I talked about a 2006 horror movie, Salvage, and how that movie made Dexter look like a freaking walking disaster because it was done so perfectly and like good that it makes like supposedly one of the best freaking killers just an active walking disaster. But yeah. This is a 2006 movie. Okay, Kate, you got to be that much of a jerk. She's way faster in this mode. But guess what, Kate? You got me right when I was going to the elevator. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? It said 4. Oh, you meant as in 4 more. Okay. That's my bad. So, yeah, it's a 2007 horror movie, sci-fi. And honestly, I expected so much more from the movie. Like, so it's about this jungle expedition group or whatever, and they're on this research island to discover these killer, basically giant monkey gorillas. And this researcher, this guy, this older man, he is too much into it. Like, he's one of those like over obsessively freaking like interested guys that, you know, it's all he cares about. No matter who gets involved, what happens, or anything and things of that nature. But then he gets this group involved, and they end up little by little dying to the freaking monkeys. But they can never like see or figure out properly when or why or how it's happening, because the kills, every single one is done off screen. Every single kill in the movie is done off screen. Yes, you get to see the aftermath, but it's just like Dexter. They literally snip it to the person getting killed and then zoom back and show the body after. And then little by little, it's just getting down to more in the few of them. And eventually, the older professor guy dies. And, okay, you're like, okay, maybe he deserved it. You know, he had it coming. But then you get to the, like, final 4 or 3, and you're like, okay, isn't this usually where something, like, happens? We get the big reveal, or, like, something like that. Something to help boost the ending and, like, put it in our hero's way. Like, everything, right? But that doesn't happen. They just keep on dying. And then gets to the point where it's down to the final 2. It's a couple. And then they end up fighting a little bit against the actual gorillas. But they're still not shown. And then you get to the frickin' ending, and they end up in this cave, this big cave. And that's the cave where these gorillas actually hide. This is their hut, if you want to call it that. Their place for their troop. Watch Tarzan. Anyways, that's where the gorillas are. And it's like, okay, we still haven't seen them, and these 2 are the only ones left, and it seems like they just walked right from the frying pan into the fire when they just seem like they're about to die. And you know what happens? The guy dies trying to fight, and the girl, right as she's seeing this, she gets attacked too. And then 20 seconds before the credits hit, the gorillas are shown, and it looks like the most god-awful, just crammed together, freaking just god-awful design and animation for killer freaking gorillas that I have ever seen in my freaking life. And then it cuts to the ending. And there's far more to talk about, but I want to give you guys a second to digest the information that I just preceded to you. Now I don't even have a freaking flashlight. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys. I can share my screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you the design, like, of the creatures themselves. The best one that I can find, more or less, because it's not really, like, really shown, but it's enough shown that you, like, get the gist. So what we're gonna do, screen. So you see that? That's what they look like. And the way they move is so glitched and badly animated that it sucks. I want to give you far more credit than that, dude. But yeah, like I said, I really wanted to like this movie, but there's just so much to hate about it. As a matter of fact, protagonist. That way we can actually, like, get the full gist. This is our group right here. And the guy with the professor, the woman with the frickin' professor, okay? This professor and this freaking wildlife research thing, she's a freaking karate person. And everybody has their phones out and everything like that. And she freaking karate kicks the phone. And I was like, that's pretty freaking funny, but so weirdly unnecessary that it was like, why? Also, stupidest decision that she could have made, because it ended up being the death of literally all of them. The research dude, he was probably the highlight of the movie, his acting. But when you have such bad design for a monster and every single freaking guy die, it's like, look, the kills are good and, like, the blood and the gore and everything is good, but every single one of the kills is done off freaking screen. Heck, I wish she would have karate kicked one of the monkeys. Freaking some Karate Kid bullcrap, but no. We didn't even get enough lucky to get that. No. We didn't even get that. Yeah, it's just so pointless. Yeah, there's just so much to dislike about this movie. Because, first of all, I even want to show you. You thought that Scream 7 did bad? Matter of fact, Scream 8 was just greenlit by these two girls. These two girls that had this Buffy the Vampire Slayer canceled series. They are directing and, like, writing Scream 8. So 8 is confirmed at this point. So Scream 8 did not, Scream 7 did not do bad. But I want to show you guys Blood Monkey real quick. The ratings for it. Because this got a very low rating. See, like, look. Some of the reviews on here. Campy and poorly acted. Third worst film. And look right here. 19%, 2.25, 3.1 out of 10. horrible freaking reviews. And I actually want to talk about the freaking RID 2015. This is the Transformers show that I covered last year, and how awful it was. That got a low rating as well, but slightly higher, probably because of kids. But back to Blood Monkey, it's just like almost every single like person will tell you that this movie is just it's something that you want to be good. Like, how does this movie right here do freaking better? How does freaking a 2006 movie do better than a 2007 movie? Something tells me that, all right, I even want to look at what company released Blood Monkey or made Blood Monkey. RHI Entertainment and Thai Occidental Productions. Low budget, trite acting, no fright value, and the actual creatures does not appear until even the end of the film. Everything about this movie makes it a bad movie, and I hate the fact that that is a thing, because every single sci-fi movie that I have watched, when it comes to sharks, bees, bears, lions, freaking everything, I've always had a good time, because I felt like I was actually liking the freaking creature, you know? But then you get a movie like this, and it's like unfortunate. I cannot believe I'm still alive, for one thing, and that I have not found another freaking gas canister. Like, are these things just hiding from me? The fact this is hardcore mode, and I have, like, literally survived this long against Slender and Kate, just goes to show, even without my light, I am somehow still a god at Slender. Slender, if you wanted to kill me by now, you would have done so already. Kate is right there. She gets me whenever I'm running. So that's the downfall of most movies. Yes. Slender, can you just stop? Can you just stop? Well, he got me. I tried. Oh, those stupid gas canisters, though. Yeah. Like I said, this is one movie that I truly did not want to hate. But, like, it's just everything about it. There's not too much to talk about. Like, it's poor acting. The monster reveal isn't until the end of the motherfucking movie. And all the kills are done off screen. Like, if you watch any freaking movie, whether it's a headed, even the mega shark movies, like, those did not get awful reviews. True, they weren't actually the most, like, adored, because there's many of problems with them. But do you see anyone massively hating on them and low rating them like this one? No. Which goes to show me either people pick and choose what they want to hate on a whim, or some companies just shun out this product trying to get that bank and then just say screw it to the general public. And if people like this movie, that's fine. I will never look. That's the thing. That's also why I don't do movie and show reviews, because like it's just, first of all, this is a what if freaking YouTube channel, and two, if I'm gonna review something, I want to actually get deep and like true into it about a specific like thing that maybe I have more to talk about. And this, just like, you'd expect me to have way more to talk about, but like I said, this is one of those shorter April Fool's ones. We're not ending the stream by a long shot, not yet, no. But there is just so much potential for a movie about killer gorillas, and they nipped it in the freaking bud. Just to get a movie out to the general public. Hi, Kate. Screw off. Zeke! It's been a century and a half since last year, man! Where the frick have you been? Well, there's a lot to talk about. First off, yes, that was exactly going to be my question, is did you watch the Omnigames? Because I believe that one of the last posts that I made or videos was referencing that, or it was getting very close to that. So I'm glad you liked them. And depending on what content you've seen since then, I'm just glad you're back now. I don't know if you've ever been around for an April Fool's stream before, but we're talking about a very bad horror sci-fi movie, Blood Monkey. Basically, what you need to know about it, poor acting. The monster reveal doesn't happen until the very end of the film. And overall, just a bad movie. First time I talked about Lori Grimes, then I talked about a bad Transformers show. This year, I decided we're talking about Blood Monkey. And I'm also playing Slender. I don't know if you saw the big changes with the pictures and the winner of the Omnigames and like the tournament and like big stuff that was happening. But if you need to fill in on any like important details about like what's going on or like questions on everything, then I will be glad to answer them. We're having a big Slender theme this year as of just the beginning of this month, or I guess the beginning of March now, since, you know, it's over. But yeah, that's basically what's going on here. Kate, screw off. Screw off, Kate. Bring up any important channel updates. Okay, so as you know, if you watch the Omni Games, Leon Kennedy is the winner of the Omni Games and is now a permanent resident of the Omniverse. And there's a big Slender thing going on, and Slender has officially debuted in the Omniverse, which means that my streams are now playing Slender. Either the Arrival, the 8 Pages, the remake, and the new game coming out sometime this year. Also, had a Scream 7 discussion because that just came out, and overall made a huge freaking update about that. And as for Omniverse story stuff, Thunder has gotten to the 4th episode as of production. And the other 3, if you haven't already seen them, are up now on the channel. There is an Omniverse Ascension tournament that I'm going to be doing as of the end of the Omni Games, and it's going to be June 4th. Now, if I'm lucky enough to get 16 people, by June 4th, then we will have those 16 people participate on Discord in a sort of like text picture chatting tournament thing. And that person who wins, their character will be featured in the Omniverse, just like Leon and just like Thunder. But I had already worked on the tournament myself, so the newest member of the Omniverse is, regardless, if it's not done for the 16 people, that member of the Omniverse is going to join regardless. And let's say I do get the 16 people, we'll just have that person who I did join and the tournament and everything like that. I'll work it in to another tournament as like a side quest, you know? So my tournament will be the side quest or the Discord one will be the side quest. Either way, I will make it work. This ain't good. Yeah, Slender is going to be huge this year when it comes to games and everything like that. I hate you, Kate. I hate gas canisters also. Never thought I could hate a gas canister. Oh my god. Now I gotta retry the mode again. And then, as for anything else that you may have missed, I will I'll more or less go to like before the Omni games and see what I've done since then that you might want to know about. I did What If the Whisperers Found Rick? And other stuff recently. I'll let you check it out at your leisure. I did What If Negan Used Jason Voorhees? Other Dragon Ball and other stuff. TF surpassed me in terms of subs and views. But I ain't giving up, and I'm slowly but surely going to inch my way back up there. But he has been doing massive work with his stories. Like his recent one especially, he's been doing awesome. So the dude definitely deserves the frickin' respect and credit. And besides the stories that I just did that I'll let you check out at your leisure, What If Megatron Absorbed the Fusion Cannons will close out this week. And then we got What If John Wick Fought Batman, Awesome Truth staying a tag team, Trump winning instead of Biden. Then we got 2 epic stories that I'm going to be doing. What if Shiva survived? And what if the Tuffles killed the Saiyans? The ones after that is going to be what if Sidney Prescott was in Scream 6? What if Nick was in Henry Danger? And then the ones I'm working on right now is what if Mjolnir went to Steve in the first Thor movie? And what if the governor was in Saw? Also, my most popular video, What If Rick Met Negan Before Alexandria, which I've officially named, retitled, and redone, is What If Negan Met Season 5 Rick. It's not only been my most popular video for quite a long minute now, but it just reached 10,000 views. So that is my first freaking video ever to reach that margin. And What If Lightning McQueen Never Went to Radiator Springs is nearing the 9,000 mark, so it's catching up. But yeah, we're getting a lot of work done recently because last year we broke records when it came to subscribers, views, and content. So this year, I've been trying everything in my power to make sure that we break even more records and we make this channel even bigger than we have before. Because journey on this channel just doesn't stop after we've just begun. We have a long road ahead of us. But besides that, honestly, it's just good to see you back. Exactly. I have to redo this mode again, and this might be the hardest freaking... This is just like Slender the 8 Pages. Because the gas canisters... I think I have a plan here. I think I know what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go find the gas canisters first. And if I find all 6 first, then I won't be searching around for them like a blindless bat. And then I can actually win this mode. Now I know, Zeke, I talked to you and everybody else about Salvage and how it was a 2006 movie, probably one of the best horror movies you're ever going to see. And this movie, Blood Monkey, I wanted to like it because I've seen so many sci-fi and horror movies like shark attacks, headed shark attacks, lions, freaking killer bees, killer ants, killer freaking everything. And I wanted to like this movie so freaking badly, but everything about it screams negativity. Like, even the Robots in Disguise one that I talked about last year, the bad Transformers show, got a low rating. Blood Monkey. So yeah, it's a 2007 movie, and overall, people just did not like it. That's all right, though. All right, gas canister's been added. Now, I can't go any one of those ways. Oh, I can't even go anywhere yet. Freaking great! So now I'm going to go for the gas canisters first. So yeah, I wanted to like this movie, but the acting was bad. And like, I mean, Zeke, if you want me to tell you about the movie first, or if you don't want me to spoil, like, depending on whether or not you want me to spoil it for you, or like, just tell you about it, it's pretty much a spoiler stream anyway. So, I mean, I could just talk about it first to you, at least, before I go too much into it, like I just did. Just so that way you get a gist again about, like, what specifically this movie has about it. All right, that's 2, I think, gas canisters. I do not plan on watching the film. Fair enough. Okay, so the movie, let me actually pull up the pictures because this is gonna be important. All right, so the movie follows this group, this research island facility type people, and this guy, this older dude, this one right here in the middle, he's trying to like study these creatures, these killer gorillas or whatever, but he needs people to actually, he needs a science group to get him closer. And you know, it's just one of those movies where like crazy old dude is invested with creatures, so he's like nuts, you know? But he ends up sending these freaking kids into a death trap, basically. And this girl right here, this girl right next to him, is a freaking karate master or something, because the kids, they have phones, right? Because of course they're kids. They have phones. Because of course, why wouldn't they? But she karate kicks the phone out of the kid's hand. Now, that's funny, but entirely unnecessary. Entirely unnecessary. Like, for real, though. And they end up getting sent into a freaking death trap because of these gorillas. And it gets to the point where every one of them's starting to die off little by little by little by little. And they don't know what's happening, because every single one of the kills, this is the most disturbing, by the way, the girl, she's the, let's just say that she's the interesting one out of the batch. Imagination. And she ends up being one of the most brutal kills, but here's the problem. Every single one of the kills is done off screen. And this is supposed to be one of the big sci-fi monster horror movies where you like gratuitously see the kill, but all you see is the bloody aftermath, which this kill, trust me, is gut-wrenching, but it's like that doesn't mean anything when the kills are freaking done off screen. The thing that sells it for me, though, as at least not the most terrible movie that I've seen, is the guy's performance in it. Because he actually does a very good job at playing a freaking creepy old over-obsessed guy. And it's like, okay, that works. But that doesn't exactly save the movie from complete just banter when you have poor acting and no real lead up so far. And then more and more of them start dying, and more of them start dying. And it's like, okay, at that point, you might as well just kill off all the characters and wait until I get to that part. And it's like, it's just getting to the point where, like, you still haven't seen the freaking killer gorillas that are supposed to be this huge monster lead up. You know, the big monster reveal, as all the other sci-fi horror movies have, or just any horror movie at all. And then it gets to the point where it's the final bunch, the final two or whatever. And I actually want to see if I could pull up the final two. Blood Monkey 2007 couple. Because I feel like I could probably get that. Maybe. I don't know. It just gets to the final two or whatever. It's this girl. It's these two. These two right here. It gets to these two at the very end. And it's like, okay, where's the monster reveal? And how are these two that are literally the only ones left and know nothing about these creatures going to make it to the end and, like, kill the beasts? And they actually start fighting off the beasts and everything, you know? And it's actually working out. But you know what the problem is? We still haven't seen the freaking monsters. And that's just slowing the roll of the movie even further into chaos. And then they end up getting straight from the frying pan into the freaking fire and end up in the cave or the hut of these killer gorillas. And you know what we still haven't seen? The freaking gorillas on screen. And then the dude dies trying to save the girl's life, and the girl just sits there in fright and doesn't do anything as the gorillas literally kill her too. And then we get the freaking reveal finally, 20 seconds before the credits hit, and the freaking gorillas look like the most god-awful freaking animated freaking creatures that I've ever seen of in my life. Like, look at this. Look at this. Awful. And they're animated and, like, drawn in and moving so badly that it's like, this was also a low-budget film, so clearly they were just trying to get out a sci-fi gorilla movie, and they just said F it to the general public. They didn't care at all. They literally could not have cared less. And that, I think, is the biggest knife in the back for this movie. Which really hurts. So overall, horrible reveal, bad design, bad animated, low budget film, bad acting, and just like usually when you get a movie like this, even in the headed shark attack movies, two people always come out on top. Nobody does here. So what was even the point of anything in this movie? This could have easily been avoided if a certain old man hadn't just drug these kids into their own deaths. Or, I don't know, maybe don't have your freaking Karate Kid protege freaking woman just nunchuck her freaking foot into all the phones in the beginning in the first half, and then you would have had a way to get out of there before stuff actually went to crap. Kate just came out of bloody nowhere. Yeah, screw you too, Kate. Yeah, like, they could have shown them at least one more time. One more time. But they couldn't even show them 3 times. I don't know how anyone can look at this movie without thinking like the same thing they do about characters and other things like Lori Grimes or RID 2015, because it's just, it's not deserving of a good name for it. Kate just walked right up to me and somehow didn't kill me. Well, that's 4. I wish that these goofier movies with low budgets and dumb plots would lean into the comedy aspect. Like they could have titled this one Harambee's Revenge or something. They did. The only comedic thing that I think they did was that freaking karate kick to the phone. Everything else you can skip. So, yeah, that is the only funny thing I think was in this movie. Everything else about it is just avoidable. Slender, screw off. Really? And now that I've pretty much said everything about the movie that I can, there's not too much else to talk about besides just more or less hanging out in the stream for another hour, and just talking about the channel. Because I don't want to end it here. The rant is over, but like I overall want to stay in the stream for you guys. We talk about the channel, future stuff to talk about. And yeah, just chill out. I'll keep up the stuff here so you guys still know what the freaking stream's about. I mean, I don't know how anybody wouldn't, but you know what? Never mind. Anyway. Give me the last generator. Come on. Wow, this is a load of bogus. Oh, F you, Kate. Go ahead. Do something dumb. Moving my what ifs to a second channel so that my channels have specific purpose. Your channels with specific videos will build better audiences and get more views. Why do you think I do what I do here? But yes, extremely. By the way, Kate and Slender, you're both jerks. I just want to point that out. Come on, where's that last generator? Yes! Give me that. Give me. Come on, elevator, elevator, elevator. Come on, move, 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 move. Oh, I swear to God, if you kill me. Frick! You know what? Screw you, Slendy Bendy Tender Man. That's his new name from now on. Yeah, I think that you moving the things over, that'd be a good strategy there. That would be a good strategy to help your channel. And I honestly want to see you back with the wife. You never finished your first story. And TF, he blew up because of what ifs. That's specifically why he's where he's at. So you keep on the track with especially your story that you're doing. That's a big road ahead of you. Because what ifs, I definitely think that people need to know how much they matter. That's the whole goal of this, and to inspire you guys and everything is to, like, you and TF both, is because I think that what ifs definitely deserve to be heard and told. Okay. By the way, I don't know if you saw Scream 7 or not, but Scream 8 was just greenlit by Spyglass, by these two women who directed the canceled Buffy the Vampire Slayer sequel. By the way, let us know about your thoughts of Scream 7. I'm getting all the gas generators, the canisters. Like, oh my God. I hate Slendy, Bendy, Tender, frickin' trendy man over here, huh? You always make my life difficult. Slender, why can't we just have a coffee or something, huh? Why can't you and me just get a coffee? Why I make my life miserable? Like, I literally can't help you. ain't my mother freaking fault that you don't have no eyes or no face or any features that make you relatable. It was a big mess, honestly. Yeah. Jessica as a Ghostface, I feel it was the best Scream movie because the kills were freaking horrific. Stu's house was freaking destroyed. Gail killed someone with a car. Jessica as Ghostface, I feel, was easily seen. Her other two sidekicks were just there for plot reasons. And I think that her as Ghostface was just evil. And her and Tatum killing Jessica made Mickey's Ghostface death look like nothing. They destroyed her. And yeah, I definitely thought that Stu was going to come back too. I feel like, here's the thing though, in that first video call, the scars that were all over his face, I'm going to even show you. Matter of fact, no, not the fakes anymore. Here, but not there. Right here. See, in this picture, all those scars, evidence, TV, okay? But then you go to future vids, it's just like the Mrs. Loomis and Roman and Dewey, which we knew they were all dead. Nothing. So that goes to show maybe he's alive and they were setting up his return. Because Stu Macher was supposed to return in every single moment of the Scream franchise. 2 and 3, he was supposed to come back. 4, you could put her in with Jill. 5, his freaking cousin was in it. 6, it was speculated. Literally every single movie and instance, Stu Macher could have, should have, and he said would have come back because Matthew Lillard, even after Scream 7, thinks his character's still alive. And it's not just him or me saying it. So, who knows? I'm not going to reach onto it as much as I did with 7, but there's still the hope that we could get Stu Macher back. But we don't know that yet. 8 did just get confirmed after all. We don't know what's going to happen. Give me that stupid canister. Okay. Kate, I will. Kate, me and you are not friends right now. I'm starting to hate you more than Slender. And I didn't think that was possible. So that they could have kept the 3 Ghostfaces, Stu's minions. Who knows? That first video could have been real and all this was just set up to F with Sydney. But like I said, we'll never know. Slender, F off completely. Come on, I have 1 generator left and then I can leave. And never come back to this stupid mansion ever again. Just gonna get the generator and leave. Ding! I hate you, Kate. Do not kill me. Thank you. You actually have a soul. Somewhere in that proxified body of yours exists a human soul. Now that I have figured that out, I'm going to take my happy little generators and leave and never come back to this freaking mansion or mine ever again. Bye! Yes, Slendy Tendy is getting on Nick's last nerve. Yes, extremely. Now we are finally done with that mode. Hardcore mode, that mode was monstrous. So goodbye to Kate, and goodbye to Slender, and hello to the next game mode. Got an hour and 18. We'll cut it about like kind of near the 2-hour mark. Whew. I'm going to pick up the note that I did not pick up before. I've tried to call you dozens of times. That goes to show that Slender was in control of Carl's actions. By the way, if you didn't see my Slender the Arrival, the first playthrough, since I've been doing the Slender streams, I suggest checking it out so you guys know about the story. Or check out the video I linked on the Discord and YouTube so you guys know specifically what the frick the story is about. Because it's important. Pick up the note. Kate, leaving this note in case you wake up tonight. I'm going to assume you don't remember what happened. I came over to check on you and found you out in that park behind the house. You had a broken video camera with you and a bag full of weird drawings. I don't know what happened out there, but you're safe now. The doctors here will help you. If Outlast has taught you anything, doctors can't do crap. You think a doctor is going to stop Slender? Or a proxy version of Slender? Do you think doctors are going to stop people like Chris Walker and the Wall Rider and those monsters from Outlast? By the way, I'm going to end up playing that on hardcore at one point. That's going to be terrifying. And now we're going to play Memories for Charlie. Pretty much the most trauma-inducing mode of the entire Slender game. Which there's no way you can lose. So yeah, it's just trauma-inducing when you realize this poor child never deserved any of it.
Charlie, lunch in 5.
I never noticed the parents right there until the video and until I looked up. His parents just casually up there talking while his kid ends up walking all the way over there into the forest and proxified. The wife had the smart idea. She left. But who knows? Slender probably found a way to get her too. We just don't know that. And the dad actually had the same decision as Carl and burned himself alive. Because literally the only way to protect yourself from Slender is die. These poor, poor parents. Like, you gotta feel for it, man. But I unfortunately still have to play this mode. That's how you create a great video game, when you put that much trauma and power. Scene. And the parents calling for Charlie just make it worse. This poor 10-year-old boy just found out the secret, and it was just then that he was caught. Like, he wasn't getting out of it. I'm gonna shut up now. This will probably affect me as much as it will you. It's just how big this moment is.
Charlie! Where are you, Charlie? Charlie! No!
And the kid's voice, too.
Charlie!
Charlie!
Help!
Yep. And then he gets turned, not into that right here, because that's Kate. He gets turned into this. A decaying 10-year-old Slender proxy. Very terrifying. You know what I think I'm going to do next for my Omniverse story? For like the 5th episode for Thunder's thing? I think I'm going to combine Slender and Outlast and have Slender control Chris Walker and like a bunch of people from the asylum. I kind of gave a spoiler alert, but well, who cares? Yes, they are messed up. But you know, sometimes you got to create a messed up game for people to enjoy it. Okay, so there is the tape with the homestead, which is where we're going to see Charlie, and the tape with the forest, and it's the flashback to before Kate and Genesis mode. Like before, we're going to do the Carl tape and play Homestead. So awesome you're doing a stream on Blood Monkey. Never seen it, but I heard it's the best movie ever. Oh, well, since you have joined TF, Zeke's back, and allow me to explain. So, before we actually get into the review once again, look at the rating for it. By the way, I'm playing Slender the Arrival Hardcore. I finally beat the mansion mode, so now I'm playing the frickin' Homestead mode. Like I said, if you guys haven't seen me play Slender the Arrival, I have my second Slender stream. You guys can check it out. For now, you'll just have to watch me talk. We're talking about Blood Monkey anyway. Yo, best ratings ever. Yeah. Shut up for a second, Slender. So, this movie is a 2007 horror sci-fi film, and it follows this group this expedition forest group, and it's led by, let me find the picture again. It's led by this dude right here in the middle. And he's trying to investigate on these killer monkeys, these killer gorillas or whatever, and he needs a group. So, of course, these stupid, dumb teenagers, they just go along with it because research, but they end up walking into a motherfucking death trap. So, this partner, the girl right next to the guy on the left, is a freaking apparently karate professional because she ends up karate kicking the phone or phones out of the freaking kid's hands. So, yeah, that is as stupid as you might think. And you'd think, huge helping hand when it comes to the monsters. Nah. She ends up dying. Anyway, so these people, they just start getting killed off one by one by one. And all the kills are done off freaking screen. Okay? So horrible already because of the bad acting and the freaking karate kick. But the fact that all the kills are done, literally every single kill in this movie is done off screen. None of them are actually shown until after. It is exactly like Friday the 13th, the first one, except way worse. Anyway, it makes it seem like this is like from the same era, because this does not feel like a 2006 movie or 7, whatever. Still makes it worse. Anyways, here's some more. 6 American grad students have arrived in Africa to study apes with a renowned professor, but after setting up camp in a jungle clearing, they soon begin witness the carnage inflicted by the monsters. So they end up getting killed one-on-one by these monsters, and soon enough, it's down to the final 2, and they still, these 2, they're the only ones left, and it's like you still haven't seen the goddamn monsters. So it's like, okay, are we setting up a huge moment for these 2? And they actually start fighting off the monsters, you know? And it's like, okay, you're actually building up something here. Psych! The dude ends up getting killed to save his girl, because of course. And it gets to the point where the girl dies, and you still haven't seen the monsters. And now every single one of the protagonists is dead. You know, in these sci-fi horror movies, or in every horror movie, there's always 1 or 2 main characters, right? It's the trope. But that doesn't happen here. Instead, you get nothing. No characters. No one memorable. Everybody dies. So what's even the point of anything in this movie? And then you get the reveal of the monsters, and is the most god-awful freaking look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Poorly animated, poorly looking, and you know when they show up? 20 seconds, not even, before the credits roll. And apparently it was a low-budget film, which showed me that they desperately just wanted to get something out to the general public, and they just said, screw it to everyone's opinions. So, in closing, bad movie. Great, now I'm in this freaking tunnel with Charlie. Yeah, you mentioned that. Zombies. Hi, Charlie. Freaking creepy child. Now I'm out. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye, Felicia. But yeah, overall, I wanted to like this movie and I watched it the whole way through. I got it off Amazon a few years ago, just like a bunch of other ones, but it's just everything about it screams like desperation just to get a movie out. And like, there's so much more you could have done with a killer gorilla movie. Did King Kong teach you people nothing? It's like they saw King Kong and it's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna pull like a freaking cameo joke and use that as the trope for this movie. That was their monster. A cameo-induced plague. No! No! Do not plague a great show like Henry Danger with that atrocity. Absolutely not. Oh my god. Here's a better. Blood Monkey was better. I'll answer that for you. We would not be sitting here right now. I'm just saying. But maybe it takes an awful movie for us to realize in our society what is truly awful. Like maybe it takes something truly bad for us to be like, okay, now we recognize what awful really is. And we can decipher it. People need to make something awful for you to get the real picture. Yeah, literally at the homestead, not only does Charlie guard it there like a proxy-sized hawk, but there's a graveyard at the churchyard of every single Slenderman victim from the Matheson and Hayes family, showing that he had not been just around for Lauren, Kate, and like literally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18 plus freaking family members. Hi, Slender. How you doing? And now he's going to come in and chase me like a bat out of hell. Or a crazy proxy-sized demon out of hell. Hi! Do you maybe not want to act like a freaking maniac? Psych! I just juked you. What you gonna do about it? All right, that's the end of that tape. What if King Kong met Blood Monkey? King Kong would have destroyed them. A freaking Titan? King Kong's a Titan. You can never hate King Kong, in my opinion. Like, come on, let's be real here. But anyways, yeah, project-wise, Megatron absorbing the fusion cannons two-parter will close out the week. Then we got John Wick and Batman, Awesome Truth never breaking up, Trump winning against Biden, Shiva, Tuffle's killing the Saiyans, Sydney and Scream 6, Nick and Henry Danger, and then the two I'm working on right now. What if the governor was in Saw, and what if Mjolnir went to Steve, which is the one I'm working on right now. A lot of these have been one-parters or like small stories recently. I haven't made a long story in a minute. It's just because sometimes they're just not long stories. Sometimes something doesn't need to be good. Something doesn't need to be a long story to be freaking good. Like TF just made a freaking single-parter yesterday. It was a freaking probably one of his best works.
Close all the windows and doors.
Don't tell me what to do. I'll do what I want. You hear that, Kate? Don't tell me what to do. I'll do what I want. I'm the one in control here. We're not singing. Shut up. All right, TF. Have a good one. All right, Slendy, what are you going to do? Ah! I should never have asked him that question. Why do I say things? Oh my God. Kate, shut up. Yeah, why do I say things? Blood Monkey versus the Killer Tomatoes. Okay, gotta go upstairs. Come on. You don't even need to tell me to go upstairs. I'll go upstairs. I can totally I screwed it up. Gonna hide in my room. You don't even need to tell me to go in my room, man. I'm up, jump out the window. Okay, that's the end of that. That's what happened to Kate. She got jumped by the Slenderman like 78 times because Slenderman does not like children. Okay, now we are on to the final mode. This is going to be rage inducing right here. I can guarantee it. How's that to go? It can't save me anymore. There. Here we go. Into the abyss. Meet me by the street in an hour. I have left a list of things to bring with you. Leave everything else behind. I'll explain everything as soon as I see you. Don't tell Lauren about me. See, Lauren was never supposed to get involved. Only reason she did was because she was moving the house for Kate. And of course, friends can't help but blab, can they? I should know. Great. Hardcore mode in the fire. This is going to be hell on earth. Come on, where's the tower? I intend to get to the tower. Slender, screw off. Sucker! What do you have to say to that? Busted! And now, the final words of Carl and Kate before everything went to crap. Carl's burned body and boom!
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Carl burned himself just like Charles Matheson to stop the Slenderman from killing him. But Kate couldn't do it. That's how Kate, Charlie, they were proxified. Lauren doesn't even become a proxy because she just gets killed. Hi, Charlie! Yeah, come on! Come on! You can't kill me. All you're doing is just making me angry. Come on! Square up! Okay, I'm done. I didn't even go near you this time, you jerk. You know what? Stupid kid. Kate. Faking as a normal person. And then boom! There goes Lauren. I beat the game on hardcore. Nice. So I'm not going to play the remake, but I will actively show it more as I play it in streams. But I think that's where we're going to honestly quit the stream now, guys. Thank you for returning, Zeke, and everyone who was in the stream today for April Fool's Blood Monkey. If you guys haven't, make sure to catch up with the channel, posts and videos and everything, including today's upload. I'm going to close off the week with Megatron absorbing the fusion cannons. Slender stream will be Saturday. And that's pretty much it. I'll let you guys know about future updates and what goes on. Thank you guys for being in the stream with me. And I'll let you guys know eventually within the next month or so what next April Fools will be about. See you guys later.